It's been quite the winter here in San Diego, lots of rain, and now in May and June we usually get a lot of coastal fog, so not a lot of days to fly, so a great chance to compare the two harnesses I've been flying. I've been flying my Easiness 3 very lightweight harness from Advance, and it's great for hike and fly, but on my latest flight I started to get the feeling that maybe I need something a little bit more comfortable in the air. Well, not so much comfortable, but more stable. I really was tossed around quite a bit on a rowdy thermal day, so I started flying my Progess 3 harness from Advance. I flew the Progess 2 for a lot of years. I was flying the Progess 3 again, but I kind of went to the Easiness 3 for the last several months, but I'm back to flying it, and I thought it'd be nice to compare the two. Right off the bat, you'll kind of notice, and I'll have a comparison later on between the two side by side. The Progess 3 definitely is more robust, a little bit heavier, more heavily padded, but has a lot of the same features that were incorporated into the Easiness 3. You got these nice little pockets on the waist strap. One is zippered and one is just an elastic open one. On the Progess 3, you're going to see a lot of the same features again, but more padded in the shoulder straps. It has a different buckle system. They're both split leg harnesses, but the Progess 3 again, quite a bit more padding and very robust right around the legs, and they did improve this from the Progess 2. I do have a video on this that I'll link later on. You can look at the full review of the Progess 3, but this is going to be more of a side-by-side with the Easiness 3. When I'm about ready to fly, it has this great little zippered pocket that I can put my little fanny pack with my wallet, keys, camera in there. Being a larger harness, it's also super easy just to compress and pack your standard wing. A lightweight wing is a breeze. It's really nice. I get my Epsilon 9 in there and now my Advance I. The Easiness 3 harness, it's a great harness and I've loved flying it, mostly for simple hike and flies along Torrey. The volume is much less, so if you're trying to pack a standard wing in here, you've got to really fold it well. And it's hit or miss whether it's going to really fit and leave room for anything else. I've had no problem getting my Advance I in there. I was flying with the Pi 3 for a little while. Both of those very easy to pack in. You still have to pack it well, but not a problem whatsoever. You can see here side by side, right away you get the idea that the Progess 3 is kind of like the older sibling and bigger sibling to the Easiness 3. One thing I did like that the Progess 2 had and the Progess 3 does not have was a nice little bungee straps along the back of the rucksack. The Easiness 3 also has this nice little elastic pocket. The Progess 3 has two elastic pockets on the sides, so it really does function pretty well. Boy, would I like those elastic straps. Well, I might like that elastic pocket on the front, just like the Easiness 3 has. Maybe that would kind of take away from the aesthetics, but I can fit more than enough of what I take with me. Again, here you can see in the rucksack configuration how much bigger the Progess 3 is. A lot more padding. Very comfortable. Both of them are very comfortable. I think the Easiness 3 is about 3 pounds lighter. I must say with the Progess 3, even though it lifts and feels heavier, once you get it on your back, they're both very comfortable. The waist straps are really comfortable, take the weight off your shoulders. So I can't really say that you really would be handicapped that much, other than, yeah, the Easiness 3 is a little lighter, but again, it's kind of what are you going to want the most? Comfort, padding, protection, or do you want the lightness for whatever type of flying you're going to be doing? You can also start to see here the split leg arrangement on the Progess 3 is much more heavily padded, robust. Again, Easiness 3 is all about lightness, but still very comfortable. Easiness 3 uses a simple little slide-through buckles. Pretty straightforward, a little different than the clip-ons, but once you get used to it, it's fine. Maybe a little bit more cumbersome if you're wearing very heavy gloves, but I seldom do here in Southern California. Progess 3 does use the clip-in system. There's 2 points to clip in, and then you have your shoulder strap. I do like this better. Perhaps it's a little bit heavier than using the simple buckle system of the Easiness 3, but I really do like this system a little better. If I have a choice, I'd rather go with the clip-ons. Both harnesses, and I think all Advance harnesses, have this nice little system where you can make sure your risers are aligned correctly with the carabiners. I've mentioned this many times. I really like this. It has saved me a couple of times looking down saying, nope, I have that twisted. The Progess 2 used to have an airflow protector bag just like the Easiness 3, but in the Progess 3 they actually use a dedicated foam pad. You can see here the Easiness 3 has these flexible rods that keep the protector in shape until the air fills it up. Progess 3, again, you have this nice compressible foam padding that is there 100% of the time, unless you take that padding out, which I don't intend to do. So if you do a few bounces up and down, of course I never do that, you're well protected, as opposed to your airbag being deflated after the first big bounce. The one thing I will mention, if you're kiting in high winds, the Easiness 3 leg straps do tend to really dig in between your legs. Don't find that so much in the Progess 3, much more comfortable. In light to moderate winds, they're both fine. I always like to kite with the harness I'm going to be using rather than a strictly dedicated kiting harness. So I do use either the Progess 3 now or in the past Easiness 3 to do all my kiting. Again, that's the one thing I would say in a heavy wind, that Easiness 3 is a bit of a challenge. Using the speed bar in the Easiness 3 is also a little bit more tricky. It's a very flexible strap, no rigid bar. It's secured to the harness with a magnetic little loop. The Progess 3 has a much more rigid strap, so a lot easier for your foot to engage that and then use that carbon bar. Much easier to use overall. So the Easiness 3 is a great hike and fly harness. You can use a lighter wing, maybe more of a challenge for your standard wing, so that's something you have to keep in mind. But great for hike and fly, and you just want to hike up and fly down. The Progess 3, a little more versatile, a little more comfortable, a little more padding. You can use a standard wing, a light wing. I'm using it right now mostly for my thermaling days, especially Little Black. For Torrey, I may use that Easiness 3 now and then. So there it is, the Easiness 3 and the Progess 3 harness, both from Advance. They're both great, just depends on what kind of flying you want to do. I've used the Easiness 3 quite a bit over the last year, but now for thermaling, I'll especially using that Progess 3. In the future, I might consider a smaller light wing to use with the Easiness 3 harness, and that would be just for hike and fly. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and fly safe. And one more thing, on this particular Saturday, I figured it wouldn't be too crowded. It was after the big holiday and it was overcast. As it turns out, it got very busy with a lot of tandems and a lot of radio control. It was really a flying circus out there. So I'll stick to my regular routine in the future and just do the weekdays. All right, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.